Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. I'm Aaron, editor-in-chief of Comic Booked.
Hey everybody, Justin, managing editor of a comic book.
And tonight we've got a very special guest with us, the editor-in-chief of Aftershock Comics, Mike Marts. Mike?
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Well, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time. I'm sure if your job is anything like mine, and your job is probably like 10 times worse than mine, then you're very busy. So taking time out of your day to talk with us and our viewers about Aftershock, we really appreciate that.
No, it's my pleasure to be here, guys.
So I would say I heard about Aftershock probably end of last year, and saw the preview book that came out, and that was one of the first tastes of the books that I got, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." There's a lot of different types of books. Super Zero was the first book that caught my eye,
Yep.
and because I really like Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner. I've pretty much, I think, picked up every book now from Aftershock except for Dreaming Eagles, the only one I haven't picked up. So they're definitely good. I mean, I love reading books, and these stories keep me interested. So, Mike, would you go ahead and just give us kind of the birth of Aftershock? How did Aftershock come around?
Well, I've got a few partners in my company, and I was actually the last person to be asked into the company. And my team members, these guys that I work with, I mean, they're the reason that I came to the company. They live and breathe comic books, but most of them come from other industries and have vast experience in other areas such as TV and film and distribution. But they all spoke the same language that I did, and that was telling stories and telling stories of high quality. So, for me, joining Aftershock was really a no-brainer for me. This was something that I'd wanted to do for a long time, to kind of start a company from scratch and build it from the ground floor, and just assemble this murderer's row of creators. And that's what we did right from the get-go. I mean, I came on in April, and we wasted no time at all in recruiting top talent and getting together, what we felt were just incredible stories to tell. And it kind of goes to like two of the foundations of our company, one being story and the other being quality. We look at story, we want to acquire projects, stories that we feel need to be told. Compelling, captivating, motivating, just incredible stories that need to be told. And then quality, that other foundation. It's got to be by the best people. It's got to be the top level of quality. Nothing below that will be satisfying to us.
Very cool. Well, that is one thing I've noticed, is that from the start, I've been in comics for, I don't know, 20 some years. And you see them come and go. You see companies start up and are just fast out of the gate with a bunch of titles, and then they slowly trickle away, or they hang on for a couple years and then just kind of dissolve. But the quality of stories, the quality of the books themselves. I mean, heavy stock covers, really great paper, beautiful art. That's really what has drawn me to Aftershock. So that's really great.
And consistency with, some startup companies, excuse me, you'll see books, you'll get an issue 1, and then it may be like 3 or 4 months before you see an issue 2. And that's what I've really loved about Aftershock, is they've, right out of the gate, you're getting your books, like they're there. So the story is coming straight at you, and it's just great.
I appreciate that. I mean, that's, something that we're very careful about. And, Aaron, just like you said, you've been in the industry for over 20 years, and it's the same type of thing with me and my partner, Joe Pruitt, who's our publisher and chief creative officer. I've got 23, 24 years in the industry, and he's got a few more than me. Our combined experience coming together means that we are precise and careful in every single thing that we do, and that's everything from the scheduling, like what you talked about, all the way down to the branding of the company, to the type of people that we want to be working with, to the types of stories that we want to tell. Everything is a very carefully thought out decision on our parts. And that's one of the reasons why, as a company, we know we're in it for the long haul. We know we're going to be here for a long time, and we need to establish these relationships with readers and retailers, and just solidify the idea in people's minds that that Aftershock means quality and that we're delivering what we promise.
Great, that's good to hear. I remember, a company back in the early 2000s that came out and had a bunch of great books. A lot of popular writers and artists on, and it was, they just spewed out books left and right, it seemed. But eventually they just kind of ran out of steam. So you guys have such a diversity of not just stories that are out right now, but writers and artists that have signed on. We were looking through that list in the back of the preview book, and several of the names there was like, oh wow, I haven't seen anything from this person for a while. So
Right.
We're really excited to see, what's this person going to do? What's going to come next from this? So, as you want to talk about kind of the long-term plan for Aftershock, and what do you guys see as, the shape of Aftershock, 5 years from now?
Sure. Just getting back to something you said right there, I mean, there's been other companies who have spewed out books left and right. One of the things that we're focusing on is that we're not overly concerned about market share at this point. We're not overly concerned about title count at this point. Rather than get, 20, 40, 50 books out there, we're much more focused on having a small, concise, digestible line that most consumers, if they wanted to pick up the entire thing, they could. I doubt you'll see us ever grow more than 8, 9, 10 titles per month. And we'll be rotating projects in and out so that the number of titles never gets too big, never gets too small, and that you'll have a nice representation of talent across the line. Just like you were saying, different people, some creators that we haven't seen stuff from in a while, some creators who are more independent-minded, other creators who are more mainstream. We're bringing a real eclectic mix of talent to Aftershock. So there's definitely something there for everyone. And our hope is that when you sample one Aftershock comic, you'll be so convinced of the quality and how good the story is that you'll be tempted to go and pick up others.
That's great.
The real journey of Aftershock over the next 5 years or so is just to continue to be a home, a safe home, a friendly home, a competitive home, and a thriving home for the best creators in the business to come and do their best work.
So is Aftershock structured more like some of the companies have, like their creator-owned kind of section, as opposed to the titles that are owned by the company? How do you guys structure your books with in working with the different creators?
Well, for right now, we're not ruling out any type of growth. I mean, a year from now, 2 years from now, we may be venturing into other territories. But at the moment, 100% of our energy is focused on creator-owned comic books. So all the great titles that you see on the racks right now from Aftershock, whether it's Dreaming Eagles or Super Zero or Stray or American Monster, those are all creator-owned titles that the various artists and writers came to us with and that we helped them develop.
Cool. Okay. Justin, did you have any questions?
Just kind of, looking like we were talking about, like the great list of creators and artists and writers that you have. How did that process work? Did you actually actively, were you out recruiting people, or did that just word of mouth, they came to you?
It's a combination of a few different approaches. Certain writers and artists we directly recruited and targeted, and we said we want them to be a part of our company. Other big names came to us and wanted to bring their project to us, whether it might have been because past relationships with myself or Joe Pruitt, or maybe they felt they were going to receive a better deal at our company than at others. And then certainly, like you say, there was the word of mouth, the Pied Piper effect. A few of the creators working for us early on had good enough experiences that they told their creator friends. And, our whole industry speaks to one another. And when people are treated fairly and treated well, that news spreads. And we've had several projects come about, and certain writers and artists come to us because of that word of mouth, because of that Pied Piper effect.
That's great. And that is one thing I've seen in the comics industry is it's all about the relationships. And I'm sure that's true in every industry, but especially in comics. I do a lot of stuff on Facebook, so I have a lot of Facebook friends who are comic creators. And yeah, if something's happened to them, they're going to let people know. So they're not a quiet bunch for sure.
Exactly. And, the relationships that I've forged over the years, whether it was during my time at Marvel or during my time at DC, and the relationships that Joe Pruitt cultivated when he was at Caliber or later with his own company, Desperado, those are all relationships that we still have to this day. So a lot of the people that are working with us now are people that have worked with one or both of us over the past 20 to 25 years.
Great. And that's always cool because then you kind of know what you're getting into with folks like that. If you've worked with them before, you kind of know who you're looking for and what you're getting. So that's great.
It is good. And then you'll also get the unexpected where maybe some people that you've worked with for a long time bring something completely new and unexpected to you.
And that's always a plus too. Yeah, that's cool. So looking forward over the next 12 months for Aftershock, are the current series, are they all kind of self-contained? Are they going to be like, limited to so many issues, or are you looking right now to kind of do ongoing runs with these books? Or
It's a little bit of everything. We've got a combination. I mean, there are certain series that are specifically meant to be limited series and finite. Something like Garth Ennis's Dreamy Eagles is 6 issues. And we won't go beyond that. Other series like Insects or Replica are meant to be ongoing and could go on indefinitely if the demand is there. Like any business and any publishing company, maybe with certain projects we give it our best, and for whatever reason it just doesn't stick, and we decide, okay, well maybe we'll wrap this and we'll try something else with this creator. So there's going to be this continual flow of new projects and new creators coming to Aftershock, which we hope will be very exciting for readers.
Cool. All right.
Definitely. I'll just say that I'm really looking forward to Rough Riders. Every time I see that page, like that preview page in the back when I'm flipping through, I'm like, when is Rough Riders coming out? I got to see this. This is crazy. We got Teddy Roosevelt going on here. So.
Yeah, we've got a lot of advance excitement about actually all 3 of our debuts in April. Rough Riders is certainly one that's been getting a lot of buzz, and we have a lot of people excited about it. I mean, Adam Glass, his star is so high right now. I mean, having done great comic projects like Deadpool and Suicide Squad, but also being executive producer on Supernatural and Criminal Minds. I mean, I'm amazed at how many great ideas come out of his head on a daily basis. Rough Riders is going to be a lot of fun, and then we also have Black Eyed Kids and Jackpot debuting in April as well. And the buzz on those books is really fun.
Yeah, Black Eyed Kids just looks creepy.
Yeah. I mean, people who are fans of like classic Japanese horror, I think will really want to line up for Black Eyed Kids. It's just I feel like every page there's some shocking, horrifying moment.
Well, I told my shop to put all the Aftershock books on my pull, so I am picking up everything you guys put out just so I can at least talk about it, if nothing else. Yeah.
Please spread the word. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's refreshing to come on a company that's not so focused on putting out 50 however many books a month, and every 2 weeks coming out with a new book, or rebooting their universe, or all these other things that we have to deal with on a daily basis with the other companies. And it's nice to see a place that not only is out there to help out the creators, but is really drawing the creators to them. That's the coolest thing, I think, for me.
Yeah, and definitely. And I mean, having worked for both of the big companies, I can say that, when you're coming out with those new number ones, or you're coming out with that relaunch, or you're coming out with that new crossover, I mean, the best intentions always go in all those books, and so many of those books are really good. But what happens is you run the risk of stretching your resources,
Right.
because your talent pool is only so deep, and the amount of energy and attention that the consumers have is limited. And so what you get is you may have great product across the line, but you don't have enough interested eyes that want to tune in and check it out, or they don't have enough dollars to drop down to get the full story. So with our approach, the more limited approach, we don't have to stretch our talent pool, because the talent pool is a select group of individuals to begin with. And we can have those individuals focus all their energy on their create-own project and just have it be the best thing it can be.
That's great. Well, and two, we look back at like the 90s. I always think about the 90s and the comic book boom and bust of the 90s, and how, at that point, everybody was really battling for shelf space. And we still have that, but with the advent of the internet and everything that's out there to be able to promote comics online to people that you never would have been able to promote comics to back in the 90s, it's such a different environment. So it just opens itself up to companies like Aftershock and other small companies to be able to continue to survive in a market that used to be totally dominated by two big publishers.
Exactly. Well, just like you say, living through the 90s, I mean, all of us working at Aftershock, and most of the creators working at Aftershock, we all lived through that time period. We remember, what the heights of the 90s were like, and also what the busts of the 90s were like. So, that's still something that a lot of people carry with them. And I think approaching how you do business and how you structure a company and how you market your books and how you select what books to put out, with all of that in the back of your mind, it kind of helps you paint a better picture and to make better decisions about how to market things to the current marketplace.
So are you saying we may not see polybagged comics with a trading card stapled into the staples?
Chromoly covers.
Some daring experiments from our company. We are about taking intelligent risk, but I doubt you will see polybagged comics with trading cards inside anytime soon.
Darn.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do like the variants. The variants of that's one of the things I always go after. So there's been some really cool variant covers, like for Super Zero.
Yeah.
I just got the Hawkness cover today from Hawkness Comics, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah, we've had some just great talent lending their abilities to variant covers. People like Dave Johnson and Darwin Cook and John Tassaday and Phil Hester and Alexis Zirrit, Francesco Francavilla, just some of the best comic cover artists in the business. They've been lining up and say, how can we help? And
cool.
With only so many titles to go around, we don't have a place for everybody, but we have made some good use of them through the variant cover program.
That's pretty cool. I like that, and a lot of the companies right now, they seem to be doing variants for everything, no matter what it is. But it's nice to see, just the occasional variants. Like not every book that you guys are putting out has 15 variant covers. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd like to keep it limited. We'd like to keep it special. We'd like to keep the variant covers limited to special cover artists. Not every single number one issue will have a variant cover. Some of them will. Some of them won't. So we're trying to mix things up and keep it interesting.
Cool.
Quality over quantity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've noticed too that they've been putting out that you guys have been putting out the black and white covers.
Yeah, we're doing some black and whites here and there. Some of them are retailer specific. Others maybe covers that we do especially for a certain convention or show. We recently did a few black and white covers for the Comics Pro exhibition up in Portland a few weeks ago, and the retailers really seem to enjoy them. So yeah, we're doing a little bit here and there.
Okay, cool. I wondered because I saw a stack of them at my shop. Our shop owner is really big into Aftershock. He's gotten a lot of books, and I think he's definitely behind the company, which is cool. So, yeah.
It's great to hear.
All right, so I know Justin has a burning question that he's dying to ask.
Oh, yeah. And you don't have to answer this because I've just seen the guy's name one time. But Sam Keith.
Sam Keith, yeah.
Yeah? So is
Sam Keith?
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sam's an artist that I worked with at DC a few times on a few different Batman projects. Always enjoyed working with him. There's another creator in the Aftershock stable who has been a longtime friend of Sam's, and we're pairing the two of them up on a project that we have not announced yet, but I have read the scripts and I have seen Sam's artwork, and I can tell you it's just breathtaking, and it's just an incredible journey. It feels like a modern day fairy tale. I wish I could tell you more.
No, just knowing that something's coming from him is great, because I'm, 90s old Image guy. I still have the whole run of the Max, the original run, and loved it. Just absolutely loved that book. So anything new that he's going to be putting out, I'm going to gobble up like crazy. So
yeah, people who are fans of Sam's work, especially his work on the Max, will love this new title that he's working on.
Awesome.
I had I can't remember, there was a mini series that he did as well. Like I can't remember if it was Zero Girl or something like that, but that was kind of a weird fantasy twisty thing. But I mean, I've always loved his art.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff he did in the Marvel Comics Presents, that was like some of the best. The Wolverine stuff that he did was just awesome.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So, okay, cool. Well, that's good. Anything you can tell us about up and coming stuff?
Well, we have Mark Waid and Tom Pyre, who have joined the Aftershock family. They have a book that'll be debuting this summer, probably in time for San Diego Comic-Con.
Nice.
Yeah, it's incredible, and this is a case of two guys who have been doing more mainstream work for their careers, and the book that they have certainly has a mainstream approach, but some real independent sensibility to it. So this is just, I think, going to be a monster project for these two guys.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
they're old friends. They're old friends, and they write so well together. And it's hard to tell where one starts and the other ends. It's just an incredible book.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, are you guys going to be at? I'm sure you're going to be at San Diego. You're going to be at New York this year.
Yeah, we'll be at quite a few cons. We'll be at C2E2 in next week, and we'll be at Heroes Con in North Carolina. We'll be at San Diego. We'll be at New York Comic Con. I believe we'll be at Awesome Con.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be popping around the country.
Okay. Yeah, any chance you might be at Baltimore Comic Con this year?
I'm sure we will. We went last year as a part of the retailer summit that preceded the con, and then we kind of loosely attended the con in the days after, but I think this year we'll have a more solid presence there.
Okay. I've lived in Maryland for about 4 years. This will be the first year I get to go to Baltimore Comic-Con, so
Great.
it should be cool. All right.
I'm down in Atlanta, so if y'all make it to Dragon Con, I'll see you there. But if not, then I'll run over to North Carolina and see you there.
Well, 2 of our staff members live in Atlanta, so they may be at Dragon Con.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Okay, well, this is about as much time as we've got tonight, so we really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about Aftershock. A great company. I mean, I loved what I've seen so far coming into it, and I really, really loved what I've heard so far. So,
well, I appreciate that, and I can tell you with 100% certainty that it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's just the beginning. I mean, this first few months have been great and exciting, but there's so much more to come.
Awesome.
Great. All right. Well, to everybody out there, thank you for watching. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us. And we will leave some information in the description of this video on how to get a hold of Aftershock, to check out their website and check out the books that are coming out. And like, share, subscribe. We appreciate that. And we thank you, Mike, for taking the time to talk with us tonight.
My pleasure.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching.